I start.
What is up? What is up? It is the Allen show, and we are doing the fucking
Bees. Bees.
bees. We are fucking bees.
Yeah. Yes. We established last episode, if you remember,
Wait,
project
I'm
that.
not fucking bees. I'm not fucking bees. I'm not.
No, last episode we established that we're bee gang. You remember?
Ah, yeah,
So we're
yeah.
bee
We're bee
gang.
gang. That doesn't mean. Uh, hashtag bring back Fred. Is gonna join where he can.
Okay. Okay. Let's just get started then. We're on sociality. We found out last week that bees are eusocial animals, uh, which basically means that they cooperate. I think that's, if I were to boil it down in a sentence, bees cooperate. Cooperate with other bees. So let's just, yep. Sociality, haploid breeding system for which males develop. Hmm? This is how bees make more bees then. Alright, let me just, haplo, haplo, haplodiploidy. Hmm.
Haplodiploidy.
I said it right. Haplodiploidy is a sex determination system in which males develop unfertilized eggs that are haploid, and females develop fertilized eggs which are diploid. Haploid is sometimes called erecticoid. I'm guessing those are different.
Erenitoki.
Erenitoki. I'm guessing those are different root words. Haploid determines the sex in all members of the insect order. Hmm. This thing. Hypernum. Hymenoptera. And this. Hmm. Thrips. The system occurs sporadically in some spider mites. This thing. Spidifers? Hmm. Sex in this system, sex is determined by the number of sex chromosomes an individual receives. An offspring is formed from the union of sperm and egg. This means that males have half the number of chromosomes as females have, and are haploid. Have you ever heard of something like this project? This sex system?
I did not pay any attention.
Um, well, if you weren't paying attention to what I said, you'd know just about as much as I know, because I don't really get what's going on here. The queen.
Can you try to simplify it?
I think this is as simple as it gets, really. Um, are you looking
I
at?
mean, I can say that Black Widows like rip the head of their like Black Widow female Black Widows rip like I think rip the head of the male after they finish having sex with them. That's kind of simplifying it.
Yeah, but it says that basically from what I read, this doesn't occur in spiders. It occurs in bees, ants, wasps, and thrips, which is another bug, and sometimes sporadically in the animal kingdom, but mostly bees, ants, and wasps. It says that, for example, a male has no father and cannot have sons, but he has a grandfather and can have grandsons. Let me try to read through this because I'm not getting it. This means that workers in such monogamous single queen colonies are significantly more closely related in other sex determination systems, where the relatedness of siblings is usually no more than one half. It is this point which drives a kin selection theory of how eusociality evolved. Okay, whether haplodidity did in fact pave the way for the evolution of eusociality is still a matter of debate. Another feature of the haplodidity system is that recessive, lethal, and deleterious, I'm going to assume that's correct, the deleterious alleles will be removed from the population rapidly because they will automatically be expressed in the males. Dominant lethal and deleterious alleles are removed from the population every time they arise, as they kill any individual they arise in. Haplodidity is not the same thing as this. In haplodidity, males receive one half of the chromosomes and females receive, including autosomes. So I guess this is like, you know how humans have XY chromosomes? And I think this
Yeah.
is starting to sound like uh, as if you took away the Y chromosome and it was just X. See what I'm saying? I think that's what it's starting to sound like to me. Sex determinant. This is what I want to know about. Let's try to figure this out. Related ratios. I don't know what this graph is trying to tell me. Let's try to go here. In honeybees, the drones are entirely derived from their queen, their mother. The diploid queen has 32 chromosomes, and the haploid drones have 16 chromosomes. Drones produce sperm cells that contain their entire genome, So the sperm are all genetically identical except for mutations. The bee, the
Yeah.
male, the male bee's genetic makeup is therefore entirely derived from the mother, while the genetic makeup of female worker bees is half derived from the mother and half derived from the father. Thus, if a queen bee mates with only one drone, any two of her daughters will share on average 3/4 of their genes. Okay? The diploid queen's genome is recombined for her daughters, but the haploid father's gene is inherited by his daughters as is. Okay. It is also possible for a laying worker bee to lay an unfertilized egg, which is always male. Okay. It's kind of like um I looked up on Google one time and I learned that cockroaches also have a mechanism like this, where female cockroaches can lay unfertilized eggs, which is basically just a clone of the female that laid the egg. So it sounds like what's true for female cockroaches is true for male bees, drones. Which is that they can lay unfertilized eggs. There are rare, continuing in the article, there are rare instances of diploid drone larvae. This phenomenon usually arises when there is more than 2 generations of brother-sister mating. Sex determination in honeybees is initially due to a single locus, called the complementary sex determinator gene.
Alan, do you know about UC Supreme?
UC Supreme, what's that?
You're on Lewis Discord, right?
Okay.
Lewis from Super Cringe team. I need to know if he's in here. You see, yeah, there's like this guy called UC Supreme. He's not. What I'm talking about doesn't have anything to do with Lewis server. On Tim's server, he's like doing this shit where he's like pretending to be the Joker. And he's like having all these fucking Joker monologues, and it culminated in Tim saying this.
Be funny again, and who's he saying that to?
He's saying that to UC Supreme.
Well, again, I don't know who UC Supreme is.
He's the guy with the Pinkerton fucking. He's the guy with the Pinkerton. With the Pinkerton.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that doesn't tell me who he is. Like, that's gonna help me identify him, but that's not gonna tell me who he is.
Well.
You're posting. Why are you posting the live stream in the chat?
Because no one's fucking saying anything on the chat.
Nobody has to. Nobody has to chat. Okay, we're just reading bee facts. Okay. I'm gonna go back to the article. Let's see. They're rare. In developing bees, if the conditions are that the individual is heterozygous, having two different alleles of a particular gene, okay, for the S, they will develop into females. If the conditions are so that the individual is misogynous, let me just look that up. So hetero and hym. Okay.
Homozygous.
Homozygous. And or homozygous for the ESD gene, they will develop into males. The instances where the individual is homozygous at this gene are the instances of diploid males. Hemi means half. Homo means the same, so. Hmm. So it's not that they have different genes, it's just they have too much of one gene, which is the complementary sex determinator gene in specific. Diploid males do not survive to adulthood, as the nurse worker bees will cannibalize the diploid males upon hatching.
I sent Wiki the Tim Be Funny Again thing from Supreme, and he was like, "What a piece of shit! What a piece of shit! I fucking hate to be told that." Oh, and now I feel bad. Do you have? Can you have like a fucking? Can you have like a fucking chat? Can you have like the chat on one screen, like the Discord chat?
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, project. I don't need to do that. While workers can lay unfertilized eggs that become their sons, haploid sex determination system increases the individual's fitness due to indirect selection. Since the worker bee is more related to the queen's daughters than to her own offspring, helping the queen's offspring to survive helps the spread of the same gene that the worker bees possess more efficiently than direct reproduction. Okay. So it seems like the haploid system seems to be a sophisticated way of selecting your offspring, basically. Um, since the offspring that's unwanted is eliminated, as it says here, nurse worker bees will cannibalize the diploid males upon hatching. Cannibalism of diploid join and larvae is released by odd pattern of circular.
how's it called?
How's what called?
The what system?
Haploid.
The tabloid system.
Haploid. It is haploid, right? Haplodiploid. I think I'm butchering the word, saying it incorrectly.
And queen
Let me check it.
and the queen bee
Haplodiploidy.
is not like the queen termite, who is like morbidly obese and fat as fuck.
No. It seems like those queens serve different functions. As from the paragraph that I have here, it seems like they serve different. But this is not a stream about termites. This is about bees.
It seems like the queen bee has like only has like a longer abdomen, like more of a more in a more notoriously like large thorax.
Hmm.
It looks like the queen bee looks like this.
Yeah, it's really big. Just a bigger version of a regular bee.
Yeah, but it's not. Yeah, but at least it's not like a termite. Fuck. Do you want to see how a queen termite looks?
Do I want to see how queen termite looks?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, for fuck.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
fuck.
I think I'm understanding this system a little bit better.
Don't, don't.
At least a little bit better.
So I was honestly asking for you to. I was honestly wanted you to say no.
How am I gonna say no? Queen termite looking a
Just,
bit thick though.
it just. Oh, for fuck's sake! It just
how
the
how am I
first
gonna?
thing that comes to mind is like maggots, fly larvae.
Hmm. Listen, it's just nature, bro. As long as that thing is not. This is what I care about when it comes.
Angleworms.
This is what I care about when it comes to whether or not I'm scared or creeped out by bugs. Do they live in my house? And do they eat my food and can they fly? And if they don't live in my house first, then I could probably manage whatever I'm feeling.
All right.
That's just my personal opinion.
All right.
But if you're asking me how I feel about the queen thing, I never saw it before, and it looks interesting. Um, yes, but it is weird like that. Never saw it. Okay, so we're going back into sociality. We're gonna finish the thing, by the way. We're gonna finish the article. According to inclusive fitness theory, organisms that can gain fitness not just through increasing their own reproductive output, but also that of close relatives, which is what we read in the haploid system, because they will be. Never mind. Basically, the worker bees will be closely related to their sisters and not their offspring, which are haploid, which are only half of their genes. So these worker bees, these female worker bees will have more in common with um, with their sisters from the diploid queen than they do with their male drone offspring. Anyway, in evolutionary terms, individuals should help relatives when relatedness time cost is less than related times benefit. The requirements for eusociality are more easily fulfilled by haploid species, such as bees, because of their unusual readiness, because of their unusual relatedness structure. In haploid species, females develop from fertilized eggs and males develop from unfertilized eggs. We read. Because a male is haploid, has only one copy of the gene, which is what haploid means. His daughters, yeah, this is basically what I guess. Therefore, they share, yep. Yep. Says here, this unusual situation has been proposed as an explanation for the multiple evolutions of eusociality within Hymenoptera. Hymenoptera, which is the insect order that contains wasps, bees, and ants. Haplodiploidy is neither necessary nor sufficient for eusociality, since no, some eusocial species, such as termites, are not haplodiploid. Haplodiploid. So this basically answers your question, Project, which is that termite. You were talking about termites, right? That is a termite queen, right?
Yeah.
So basically, termite queens are not. They don't have the same. What is it? Breeding system. So they're not necessarily the same, but they are a eusocial species, which is probably the more important distinction, actually, because this is like describes their behavior, and this is just like how they have babies. Conversely,
I don't even know what a drone bee is. What a drone
drone
bee
bees
is
are
like.
just male bees. That's what the word for it is. Drone bees are just male bees, and the male bees have half of the bee genes, and the females have 100% of the bee genes.
The workers are the queen. Which one? Yes, I'm this brain damaged.
Ask your question. I didn't hear your question.
Did you say that the queen or the workers had all the genes?
The females have all the genes.
The huh.
Females. That's what I meant. That's what I meant to say. I don't know. I don't remember what I actually said.
You heard me? You just heard me laughing.
Yeah.
Is just I heard you say fucking fucking females, and my mind just went to Elliot Roger.
Okay, okay. Oh, look, is that Elliot Roger Lego?
Yes. Holy shit! How do you find out?
Because you posted it in the chat. What you talked about Elliot Roger. What else am I supposed to say?
Well, I didn't. Well, I didn't realize you would find out so fucking easily.
Well, it's the haircut that gives it away, really.
Well, I know that kind of looks more like a Beatles haircut.
Well, I wouldn't know what the Beatles look like, so maybe I'm just
No,
bad.
like early shit. You know, like early Beatles, like fucking,
Yeah, and
like fucking.
I never seen early Beatles. Um, except for maybe Rango.
Yeah.
No, except for maybe Ringo, which Beans was on about. Ringo Starr, the Beatles.
Honestly, it doesn't piss me off as the other time.
um, I think Beans, putting aside Beans' meme. Alright, let's just get back into the article. Um, okay, conversely,
Sure,
all
George. Sure, George. We call it women as the.
conversely, all bees, all of the bees are haplodiploid, but not all are eusocial, which is what I read already from last episode. And among eusocial species, many queens mate with multiple males, creating half-sisters that share only 25% of each other's genes. But monogamy is the ancestral state for all eusocial species so far investigated. So it is likely that haplodiploidy contributed to the
Holy
evolution
shit!
of
Holy shit,
eusociality in
funny
bees.
monkey!
Hey,
Holy shit,
hey.
monkey's bait.
I just wanted to
Bait.
finish that sentence before I said hi.
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 Did you see the meme? The thing I sent you, the fucking Weird Al parody. The Weird Al, like in quotations, because it like it was attributed to Weird Al, and I said that it's called I'm a dove.
What?
Basically, I'm a dove IGGA, and it I said that it sounded like a funny monkey when he grows up.
Um. Yeah, I saw that. You sent that in a lot of servers. And you said you said it sounded like me.
Would you agree with what he said? I actually haven't heard it.
Kinda. Yes.
Yeah. So I was reading about bees. So if you would allow me, I'm on the section that says eusociality.
Okay.
Bees may be solitary or may live in various types of communities. Eusociality appears to have originated from at least 3 independent origins in So many words.
Palatid.
Palatid.
Also, funny monkey. I made a couple memes. I made this one so that in the hopes that you could find it.
Poverty from Wikipedia.
Like you know that I edited. Look like at the top left, bottom left.
Poverty is the state of not having enough material possessions or income.
It was
for
invented.
performance basic needs. Poverty was invented in 2007 by boomers.
Yeah.
Are they gonna delete that? I should mess with Wikipedia article. Which one should I do?
I just fucked it with the source code and
Okay. You didn't actually change the title. You just changed it on the website.
like I changed it with, I think it's like in Google Chrome it's like it's like control I think
Control Shift I. That's what it is.
yeah.
Or we could just do inspect element, which is funny. There was an Employment. Well, Monkey Jones said there was an Employment tweet that said, "If Joe Biden wins the election, I'll go back to making YouTube poops." And then, like, Monkey screenshots it and said, "That's kind of strange. You deleted this tweet right now." Then Employment said, "Inspect element." Then I had the funny idea. I did inspect element on a Employment tweet, and when if Joe Biden wins the election, I will kiss at Simmy and Jimmy right on the lips, and I will record it and make it into a video. And I said, "Huh,
Okay,
it's kind of
once again.
strange you deleted this." And I pinged Emperor Lemon and Simmy and Jimmy, and Mumkey actually liked that tweet.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a pretty nice group.
It's pretty spicy.
Nice. Spicy meme. Spicy meme. Are you making these memes, Project? Is that where these memes are coming from?
I found the Jack Thompson gay porn one in Encyclopedia Grammatica, but I made the Scott Fellows one myself.
And what exactly is that referring to?
The Jack Thompson one is apparently because Jack Thompson put apparently
No, the Scott Fellows one. I want to know about Scott Fellows.
all right. Scott Fellows went like on a YouTube interview, and they talked on, and it was like, it's really like fucking cool, and it's really fucking and it's kind of funny. And then there's like this scene where, and there's like this part that stuck out that was like Scott Fellows where they were, I think they were talking a little bit about autism, and Scott, I don't know if they were talking about autism. They probably weren't, but it's most likely just like like a fucking non sequitur. But the point is, Scott Fellow is in right there. Scott Fellow said, "We're all on the spectrum. Well, we're all on the spectrum somehow." Fellows interview. Do you know who Scott Fellows is?
No, I don't know who that is.
He created the Big Time Rush show. He created That's the Classified. He created Johnny
Oh.
Test.
Oh, now I remember who Scott Fellows is.
I think I can find it. I found it. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find the part where he said.
Okay. I was wondering who Scott Fellows was, and then I remembered what the Big Time Rush intro looked like. What?
Hold up, I'm still trying.
I'm just gonna get back into the thing. Then I'll let Project interrupt me when he finds it.
I think I'm gonna have to leave right now.
Alright.
Bye bye.
See you later. Bye, Honeyman. Bye. It's at 6:40. Funny Monkey had to go.
Said what? Said what chord?
I said it's 6:40.
You know that when I started this, I told you I like to talk a lot to myself, and so it doesn't matter whether there's a camera around or not. That's how I practice my voices. I'm not sure your methodology for how you voice act, but what I do is immersion. So I get into it and I walk around.
For the
Character of the show, the Roach. The Roach. Who is just like he's definitely on the spectrum. Definitely on the spectrum. Aren't we all? Aren't we all a little bit? Hey, listen.
So here he's talking about fucking super noobs, and this is where the funny comes from.
Noobs will be the first season will be on Teletoon, I believe, in September is the plan. Okay. And it stars Lee Toker as the funniest character of the show, the Roach. The Roach. It's just like he's definitely on the spectrum. Definitely aren't we all a little bit? Hey, listen, Scott, thank you for giving.
Like, yeah, based. So sad that Funny Monkey isn't here to like find it.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Here we are.
Continue for a little bit.
These may be solitary. The most advanced of these species with few social colonies, these characteristics are characterized by cooperative brood care and division of labor into reproductive and non-reproductive adults, plus overlapping generations. The division of labor creates specialized groups within eusocial societies, which are called castes. In some species, groups of cohabitating females may be sisters, and if there is a division of labors within the group, they are considered semi-social. The group is called eusocial if, in addition, the group consists of a mother, queen, and her daughters, workers. When the casts are purely behavioral alternatives with no morphological differentiation other than size, the system is considered primitively eusocial, as in many paper wasps. When the casts are morphological discrete, the system is considered highly eusocial. Morphologically discrete system is considered. Yes. So basically,
Are you looking at the chat?
sure. Give me a second. Oh. Hashtag bring back Frid in the chat. He's saying buzz buzz.
No, he's saying bus, bus, no bus, dust, bus,
Oh,
boost, buzz, buzzy, buzz, bis, uh, boost, buzz, boost,
B
booze,
gang.
bus,
Yeah, we're
buzz,
B
buzz,
gang.
buzz, buzz.
What you didn't? Are you gonna post something in the chat? You told me to look at the chat.
Yeah, you just looked at the fucking chat and you found what I found.
Oh,
The bus.
that's what you meant.
Bus.
Okay.
Buzz. Buzz.
We're B gang, okay? We're all B gang here.
Yeah.
Let's see. True honeybees, genus Apis, of which 7 species are currently recognized, are
Now you're
highly
gonna look at
social.
it? Now you're gonna look at it again?
Buzz. Okay. Okay, Project. If that's what you want me to do, you just want me to read Buzz. Is that what we have to do for the next 2 hours? Is say Buzz?
No. No, I just thought it was funny.
All right then. And are among among the best known insects. Their colonies are established by swarms consisting of a queen and several hundred workers. There are 29 subs. Huh? Oh, hey, hashtag bring back Fred. No, it's fine. I think I welcome the distractions. Except for the one time that I may or may not have gotten on Project's case, but we'll put that aside. There are 29 subspecies. Of one of these species, Apis, European honeybee, and this is that where they gather the pollen. Right here. I forgot what that was called. Let me see if I can find it. No, I don't think I'm gonna find it. Here, it might be here. here. Scopal hairs on their hind legs have pollen baskets. That's what they're called. They're called pollen baskets. I think that's what they're called. Pollen basket on the tip of the hind leg. Yeah, this thing right here. Very peculiar looking. This is where we're at. Native to Europe and the Middle East and Africa. Africanized bees are a hybrid strand of A. mellifera that escaped from experiments involving crossing European and African subspecies. They are extremely defensive. Killer bee. Stingless bees are also highly social. They practice mass provisioning. It stocks all the food for each of her offspring in a small chamber before she lays the egg. With complex nest architecture and perennial colonies also established via swarming. Many bumblebees are eusocial, similar to the eusocial vespida, which is a wasp, such as hornets, in that the queen initiates a nest of her own rather than by swarming. Bumblebee colonies typically have 50 to 200 bees at peak population, which occurs in mid to late summer. Nest architecture is simple, limited by the size of the pre-existing nest cavity, and colonies rarely last more than a year. In 2011, the International Union for Conservation of Nature set up the Bumblebee Specialist Group to review the threat status of all bumblebee species worldwide using the IUCN Red List criteria. That's a bit. I don't know if this is related to the section, but anyways, I'm not here to critique the article. There are many more species of primitively eusocial than highly eusocial bees, okay? But they have been studied less often. Most are in the family Halictidae, or sweat bees. Colonies are typically small, with a dozen or fewer workers on average. Queens and workers differ only in size, if at all. Most species have a single season colony cycle. Even in the tropics, and only mated females hibernate. A few species have long active seasons and attain colony size in the hundreds, such as Halictidus separus. Let's use Google. That thing. Some species are eusocial in parts of their range and solitary in others, or have a mix of eusocial and solitary nests in the same population. The orchid bees. The orchid bees include some primitively eusocial species with similar biology. Some allopodine, allodipine, from Apidae, form primitively eusocial colonies with progressive provisioning. A larva's food is supplied gradually as it develops, as is the case in honeybees and some bumblebees. Solitary and communal bees. Most other bees, including familiar insects such as carpenter bees, leafcutter bees, and mason bees, are solitary in the sense that every female is fertile and typically inhabits a nest she can choose herself. There is no division of labor, so these nests lack queens and worker bees for these species. Solitary bees typically produce solitary bees typically produce neither honey nor beeswax. Bees collect pollen to feed their young and have the necessary adaptations to do this. However, certain wasp species, such as pollen wasps, have similar behaviors, and a few species of bees scavenge from carcasses to feed their offspring. Solitary bees are important pollinators. They gather pollen to provision their nests with food for their brood. Often it is mixed with nectar to form a paste-like consistency.
Nectar?
Yeah. Some solitary bees have advanced types of pollen-carrying structures on their bodies. Very few species of solitary bee are being cultured for commercial pollination. Most of these species belong to a distant set of genera, which are commonly known by their nesting behavior or preferences, namely carpenter bees, sweat bees, mason bees, plaster bees, squash bees, dwarf carpenter bees, leafcutter bees,
Bees who climb on rocks?
alkali bees, and digger bees. Digger bees. Interesting. This is a leafcutter bee. Solitary bee. Amazing. People sell bee hotels. It's insect hotel known as a bug hotel or insect house. So there are bird houses and insect hotels. This is a bee hotel in Belgium. Okay. Yeah, the audio is better on YouTube. um. I guess the audio is better. Yeah. Because the reason is because I'm applying a filter in OBS. A noise filter and what is it? Noise cancel, noise gate. How do I sound, by the way, Project?
It sounds a little like too boxy-ish.
Box?
A little too box heavy.
Okay, let me see. Hmm. The Anthrophorini are a large tribe in the subfamily Apidae. No, Apinae of the family Apidae. Okay. The Anthrophorini are a large tribe in the subfamily Apidae. No, Apinae of the family Apidae. Okay. It seems normal to me. I guess I'll just roll with it. I'm right here. How are you feeling, Project?
All right.
Okay, I'll continue then. Most solitary bees nest in the ground in a variety of soil. Wait, I was gonna look at digger bees. So I'm guessing Uncle Zebediah does not like these. Okay, so digger bees are solitary. Although many nest in large aggregations, nearly all species make nests in the soil, either in banks or on flat ground. The larvae develop in cells with waterproof linings and do not spin cocoons. Yeah, we haven't gotten into how bees make their nests. Maybe we'll get into it in this Wikipedia entry, maybe not. Most solitary bees nest in the ground in a variety of soil textures and conditions, while others create nests in hollow reeds or twigs, holes in wood. The female typically creates a compartment with an egg and some provisions for the resulting larvae, then seals it off. A nest may consist of numerous cells. When the nest is in wood, usually the last, those closer to the entrance, contain the eggs. That will become males. The adult does not provide care for the brood once the egg is laid, and usually dies after making one or more nests. Damn. The males typically emerge first and are ready for mating when the females emerge. Solitary bees are either stingless or very unlikely to sting, only in self-defense, if ever. While solitary, females each make individual nests. Some species, such as European mason bee and the Dawson burrowing bee, are gregarious, preferring to make nests near others of the same species and giving the appearance of being social. Large groups of solitary bee nests are called aggregations. To distinguish them from colonies. In some species, multiple females share a common nest, but each makes and provisions her own cells independently. This type of group is called communal and is not uncommon. The primary advantage appears to be that a nest entrance easier to defend from predators and parasites when multiple females use that same entrance regularly. Okay. Biology. It says that there's further information on the honeybee life cycle here. Okay. Oh, look, it says food source. Development state egg. Food source is yolk. Larvae, royal jelly.
And and
um, sorry, I'm just reading this section on the queen bees. Um, let me just get back into the thing. The life cycle of a bee, be it a solitary or social species, involves the laying of an egg, the development through several months of a legless larvae, a pupation stage, during which the insect undergoes complete metamorphosis, followed by the emergence of a winged adult. Most solitary bees and bumblebees in temperate climates overwinter as adults or pupae and emerge in spring when increasing numbers of flowering plants come into bloom. The males usually emerge first and search for females with which to mate. The sex of a bee is determined by whether or not the egg is fertilized after mating. If whether or not the egg is fertilized after mating, a female stores the sperm and determines which sex is required at the time each individual egg is laid. Fertilized eggs producing female offspring and unfertilized eggs males. Tropical bees may have several generations in a year and no diapause. Diapause. Okay. Basically what you would assume a diapause stage sound like. That's what a diapause stage is. The egg is generally oblong, slightly curved and tapering on one end, so like an egg. Egg is like a chicken egg. Solitary bees lay each egg in a separate cell.
Really? Anytime I look at fucking I look at fucking insect eggs, I always think of fucking
Think about chicken eggs.
no. I always think about little pieces of rice.
Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah. I guess they do look like that. That's not far off of a description. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Hold on a second. I gotta get up. Continuing the article.
You came out at the worst time.
Why? What? Why'd I come at the worst time? What? What happened?
Well, I made this. I made I'm not. When you were out,
Mm-hmm.
I made this shit.
Those things look so weird. They look so uncanny.
We got a #1 victory. Revived him. Now
Who is it? Who is it? Who am I looking at?
That's John Lennon.
Is he a funny man? Do people
He's one
like
of the
him?
members of the Beatles.
And he had a victory royale. I'd say that's pretty accurate.
we're in the plus.
He didn't have like a victory royale when he was shot or stabbed in 1980.
Oh. Well, you have me there.
He did, however.
You got me there.
Also, one from Lewis artwork. Oh, no.
What?
Then I also made one from Lewis artwork.
Okay. With Lewis artwork.
The Triceratops.
What would possess you to do that for Lewis artwork?
It would possess me that it's funny.
Okay.
We got a #1 victory.
I'm just gonna continue the article. Okay. Solitary bees lay each egg in a separate cell with a supply of mixed pollen and nectar next to it. This may be rolled into a pellet or placed in a pile and is known as mass provisioning, as I read before. Social bee species provision progressively, that is, they feed the larvae regularly while it grows. The nest varies from a hole in the ground or in wood in solitary bees to a substantial structure with wax combs and in bumblebees and honeybees. In most species, larvae are whitish grubs, roughly oval and bluntly pointed at both ends. They have 15 segments and spiracles in each segment for breathing. They have no legs but move within the cell, helped by tubercles on their sides. They have short horns on the head, jaws for chewing food, and an appendage on either side of the mouth tipped with a bristle. There is a gland under the mouth that secretes viscous fluid, which solidifies into the silk they use to produce a cocoon. The cocoon is semi-transparent and the pupa can be seen through it. Over the course of a few days, the larvae undergoes mitosis into a winged adult. When ready to emerge, the adult splits its skin dorsally and climbs out of the exuviae.
What a crock of shit, Alan. They don't look like chicken eggs at all.
Yeah, they don't look like chicken eggs. Okay. That's flight. Antoine, French zoologist. Says he and Andre had applied the equations of air resistance to insects. And found that their flight could not be explained by fixed wing calculations, but that one shouldn't be surprised that the results of the calculations don't square with reality. This has led to a common misconception that bees violate aerodynamic theory. In fact, it merely confirms that bees do not engage in fixed wing flight, and that their flight is explained by other mechanics, such as those used by helicopters. In 1996, it is shown that the vortices created by the unconventional combination of short, choppy wing strokes with a rapid rotation of the wing as it flops over and reverses its direction, and very fast wing beat frequency. Okay. Wing beat frequency normally increases as size decreases, but as the bee's wing beat covers such a small arc, it flaps approximately 230 times per second faster than a fruit fly, which is 80 times smaller. So there you have it. Bees bees are able to fly. Because bees are able to fly because they don't engage in a fixed wing flight there. So you know what I'm on about, right? Right, Project. You know what I'm on about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're on about.
It's the bee movie. The first line.
Yeah, the funny thing, the funny haha.
Okay, so now it has been explained for the both of us. So now we understand why bees are able to fly. Navigation, communication, and finding food. The entomologist Carl von Fisch studied navigation in the honeybee. He showed that honeybees communicate by the waggle dance, in which a worker bee indicates the location of a food source to other worker bees in the hive. He demonstrated that bees can recognize a desired compass in 3 different ways: by the sun, the polarization pattern of the blue sky, and by the Earth's magnetic field. He showed that the sun is the preferred or main compass. Other mechanisms are used under cloudy skies or inside a dark beehive. Bees navigate using spatial memory with a rich map-like organization. The gut of bees is relatively simple, but multiple metabolic strategies exist in the gut microbiota. Pollinating bees consume nectar and pollen, which require different digestion strategies by somewhat specialized bacteria. While nectar is a liquid of mostly monosaccharide sugars and so easily absorbed, pollen contains complex polysaccharides, branching pectin, and hemicellulose, which is basically plant matter. I think that's what we're looking at here. Almost terrestrial plants, yeah, plant matter. Okay.
Yeah.
Approximately 5 groups of bacteria are involved in digestion. 3 groups specialize in simple sugars, and two other groups in complex sugar. Digestion, it's quite amazing that they were able to identify the bacteria in the bee gut responsible for digestion. Yeah. So if you can think about a bee, and then you think about the bacteria inside the bee's stomach, that we even know about that. That's kind of cool. And we gave them names. Digestion of pectin and hemicellulose is dominated by bacterial clades. Yeah? Mela, and this thing, respectively. Bacteria that cannot digest polysaccharides obtain enzymes from their neighbor, and bacteria that lack certain amino acids do the same, creating multiple ecology issues. Although most bee species are nectivorous and pollinivorous, okay, some are not. Particularly unusual are vulture bees in the genus Trigona, which consume carrion and wasp brood, turning meat into honey-like substance. Look at that. So we're up to ecology now. We did a lot of reading today. We did a lot of reading today. I don't see why not. We could just power through it, but I think we could take our time here. Why don't we end the stream and pick it back up next week? But
Yeah, we could have like
a trilogy.
we could have like 3 parts.
Yeah. I think that's enough. We did okay. Yeah. Is there anything you want to say before we end the stream? B gang? B gang would be an appropriate statement. The floor is yours. You can say anything you want.
Bus.
Bus. B-U-S, bus?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get into the stream. Thanks for watching. Hashtag BGang. That's it.